I will never stay in there longer than I should. I'm a smart man. I'm smarter than I look. I will not stay in the fight. It's a dangerous business. Get in, get rich, get out.
Yeah.
But I try to control myself, you know. This like, okay, because I know everything, this what come to me, this is from God, you know.
Here's the ending revealed right now. The richest legends in UFC history didn't get softer with money. They got sharper, colder, and more disciplined. And if you think wealth automatically ruins fighters, you're about to be proven violently wrong. Every name in this video made millions and still chose the hardest lifestyle possible. So consider this your warning. Click away early and you'll miss the exact reason money failed to corrupt them when it destroys almost everyone else. This isn't humility for show. This is about control, identity, and psychological warfare against comfort.
Famous, like you said, there's a lot of temptation and people go crazy. Like, did that ever affect you, or were you always just dialed like?
No, this affect me, of course.
Yeah.
But I try to control myself, you know. This like, okay. Because I know everything, this what come to me, this is from God, you know.
Khabib Nurmagomedov retired undefeated with more than $40 million, global fame, and the freedom to live anywhere on earth. Yet instead of choosing comfort, he deliberately returned to a remote Dagestani village where luxury means nothing and discipline means everything, because he understands a truth most champions never fully grasp. That comfort weakens hunger, and hunger is the most dangerous weapon a fighter can keep. So he wakes before sunrise, prays before the world stirs, eats the same simple food every single day, trains with kids half his age without cameras or applause, refuses to separate himself from struggle, and continues wrapping hands, correcting mistakes, and showing up unannounced even in retirement, not out of nostalgia but strategy, knowing that excess dulls instinct, routine sharpens the mind, and the moment a fighter distances himself from hardship he begins to forget who he really is, which is why this version of Khabib, free of distractions, untouched by ego and grounded in purpose, is feared even more than the champion he once was, because it was this exact mindset, cold, disciplined, and relentless, that quietly broke egos and reshaped an entire generation of fighters.
I have this theory that in general, it is bad sign to see a fighter cry on the way to the octagon, and like you were the exception. I feel like when you're very emotional, that you fight maybe even better.
Não é porque você está chorando por uma coisa de tristeza, estou chorando por uma alegria. Cara, foi um moleque vindo dentro da favela. Tudo isso aqui que eu vivo aqui é fora da minha realidade. Então você para aqui e fecha os olhos e você lembra lá atrás. Quanto que eu tinha dificuldade de poder comer, o quanto que eu não tinha nenhuma bicicleta para poder pedalar. E poder viver tudo que eu vivo hoje, isso me motiva. Às vezes você me vê chorando.
Charles Oliveira rose from poverty to championship gold and never forgot what hunger truly feels like. The empty fridges, the broken floors, the overcrowded rooms, the nights when quitting felt smarter than dreaming, and the years of being written off as fragile long before the world learned his name. And when the money finally came, it didn't change him, it exposed him, because money doesn't rewrite your story, it underlines it. Which is why even with millions he still eats simply, trains relentlessly, shows up early, leaves late, and lives by effort as a non-negotiable rule learned through survival, funding kids anonymously because pride can poison generosity, giving without cameras because he remembers being invisible, turning every rep in the gym into a conversation with his past and every scar into proof that he survived something worse than defeat. So when fans see gold he sees responsibility. When critics see success he remembers fear. And instead of chasing luxury or flexing wealth he carries permanent gratitude, quiet humility, and disciplined focus, knowing the belt didn't make him dangerous. Hunger did, pain did, persistence did. Which is why success didn't soften him, it sharpened him, because scars don't fade when the bank account grows, they speak louder when the noise dies down, and Oliveira listens to them every day, training like the fall could come tomorrow. Living like gratitude is a skill that must be practiced. Giving like it could all disappear. Because once you've had nothing you never fully trust having everything, and that's the warning hidden in his story. If fame ever breaks you, it means hunger never built you. Georges St-Pierre conquered divisions, earned millions, crossed into Hollywood, and then made the most shocking decision of all by choosing invisibility. Living in a quiet neighborhood, jogging public streets, shopping in normal grocery stores. Because GSP never just fought opponents. He fought chaos, anxiety, and ego and After beating everyone else, he turned inward to dismantle the most dangerous enemy of all, himself, rejecting indulgence in favor of routine, meditation, philosophy, emotional control, and a life deliberately boring on the surface but armored on the inside. Understanding that carrying grudges and unchecked anger feels powerful in the moment but corrodes you over time. And this wasn't weakness or accident. It was survival, because he watched champions implode under fame and stepped sideways before it could consume him, proving that restraint is domination and discipline is power. Daniel Cormier followed a similar path, winning titles, making millions, and earning the right to live like royalty, yet choosing a life that looks painfully normal. Mowing lawns, driving kids to school, coaching, showing up for family. Because some champions don't protect their greatness with excess, they protect it with structure, humility, and responsibility. And together these stories reveal the same truth.
What we ultimately do is we fight. We fight, and all that other stuff is fleeting. That legacy is what's gonna stay and stand the test of time. So it's like you gotta really make sure that you are trying to establish that when you're gone, everybody still remembers the things that you did.
Because Daniel Cormier understands that applause fades but responsibility doesn't. He never chased relevance after retirement. Instead, he anchored himself in service, showing up to dusty gyms, barking drills, shaking hands, and donating quietly, knowing that validation never paid his bills growing up. Effort did. DC never needed the spotlight to feel important because he already knew his value. The truth is, Cormier didn't stop fighting. He simply redirected the fight toward impact, and this decision earned him more respect than any belt ever could. Dustin Poirier made generational money through wars that shortened his career and tested his soul, yet his life didn't inflate with his bank account because he never fought to escape his world. He fought to uplift it. He cooks his own meals, trains young fighters for free, gives back relentlessly, and braids his daughter's hair every morning as a sacred ritual, grounding himself in the moments that truly matter. Fame detaches fighters from reality faster than knockouts ever could, and Poirier refuses to float away, staying locked in, earning the trust of fans when promoters never fully could. Stipe Miocic became heavyweight champion of the world and still clocks firefighter shifts for a fraction of his fight pay, because heroism to him isn't symbolic, it's practical. Serving others shows up in burning buildings and overnight calls. And while many protect their bodies post-career, Stipe keeps serving because responsibility never retires. This mindset is why pressure never cracked him in the cage, and why he always appeared calmer than men twice his size. Demetrius Johnson, aka Mighty Mouse, mastered technique, broke records, and lives like a gamer dad who values peace over spectacle. He never chased noise, he chased precision. While others burned out seeking attention, Johnson built longevity through balance, routine, and restraint, streaming games, shopping normally, raising kids without ego, proving that chaos is optional. This restraint is rarer than knockouts and more dangerous than trash talk ever was. Nate Diaz earned millions, became an icon, and refused to let wealth rewrite his identity. He understands that once money changes your habits, it changes your voice. So he stayed grounded, eating street food, training kids who couldn't afford gyms, walking Stockton streets as if nothing changed. Authenticity is his leverage. Polish would kill his credibility. This isn't stubbornness, it's protection. Fighters who lose their roots lose their fearlessness. And Nate never lost either. What Diaz refuses to buy is more powerful than anything he owns, proving that in MMA, true greatness isn't defined by money, fame, or belts. It's defined by discipline, humility, and the refusal to forget where you came from.